"911, what's your emergency?"
You have to help us. He's bleeding. Oh my God, Sam!
Miss, please calm down. Please state the nature of your emergency.
There's been a crash. They're hurt. You have to help them.
We're dispatching units to your location. Please stay on the line until they arrive.
In a world where regrets are common,
I was ignorant to a lot of little things that nearly cost me my life.
I was scared with a lot of emotions running through me.
When I tell people I'm a survivor, they need to know what made it possible.
Welcome to the Dr. Vine Show, a podcast for people of all ages, highlighting and discussing health and well-being in grand style.
In this episode, we shall be looking at why we suffer typhoid fever regularly. People living in mostly developed countries will be conversant with the illness popularly known as typhoid fever or enteric fever, an illness that is synonymous with multisystemic fatal diseases, and that is a major reason why typhoid fever is a dreaded illness. The microorganism responsible for the disease was not identified until towards the end of the 19th century, and that gave rise to the development of a vaccine against the illness a year after this discovery. Going back to history lane, typhoid fever was said to have been responsible for wiping out an entire village in Virginia, and areas that have had wars have seen the soldiers and military personnel die out from the unforeseen enemy, the microorganism causing typhoid fever. Then came a lady in the US named Mary, who worked as a cook but never knew she was a carrier of the pathogen, as she exhibited no symptoms at all. It wasn't until she had infected a lot of people was she identified as a carrier and isolated on 2 separate occasions. While in the second isolation in 1915, she died of the disease, and since then she is widely known as Typhoid Mary. This microorganism causing typhoid was first described in 1880 as a bacteria, and this was confirmed 4 years later to be the bacteria we currently know as Salmonella typhi or paratyphi type. Typhoid fever is a bacterial disease that spreads when contaminated water or food are ingested, or when in close contact with someone who is a carrier, or when you have a contaminated hand. When ingested inside the body, how long does the typhoid bacteria stay in the body? In microbiology, the quantity of microorganisms present in ingested substances is a contributory factor to how long the pathogen can stay in the body. A short-term stay in your body could be 3 days, the best you can hope for without treatment. But on the average, the length of stay in the body is between 1 to 2 weeks and can be longer than 1 month in some cases, if left untreated. With the bacteria inside the body from ingestion by mouth, it goes into the stomach and then the intestine and starts digging itself into the walls of the intestine, where it enters the bloodstream of the individual, multiplying inside the blood and leading to fever, which in some persons is the first symptom they notice. The time from when it enters the body to fully multiplying can take as much as 14 days. So expect symptoms of typhoid fever within 2 weeks of eating a contaminated food or drinking a contaminated water. A headache can develop, body aches, constipation or diarrhea, tiredness, pain in the abdomen, loss of appetite, and even blood in the stool. I'll be answering commonly asked questions about typhoid fever. What parts of the body are affected by typhoid fever? Considering that the bacteria enters through the mouth to the intestines, the gastrointestinal tract is the most affected. The liver, spleen, muscles, lungs, kidneys can also harbor the bacteria through the contaminated blood. Can typhoid fever be gotten from kissing? There has been no reported case of that. While having typhoid fever, can you also have your bath? Yes, you can. Some people believe when they are having fever, they should not be exposed to water or cold water in general. But in a way, bathing when convenient in temperatures tolerable, lukewarm water can bring down the body temperature. In fact, as far back as 1786, in England, cold bathing has been recommended in typhoid fever and has been labeled as the typhoid bath. Can typhoid fever be cured completely? Yes, it is curable. The reason why people have typhoid fever again and again is because of continuous exposure to the Salmonella bacteria. When you continuously dispose waste improperly and sewage is dumped into water sources, unclean public water supply, typhoid infected persons handling food or water that you ingest in restaurants, hotels, or at events, unwashed fruits and vegetables, especially ones that grow on land fertilized with untreated sewage, cooking items washed with polluted water, eating fishes bred in polluted water, eating foods that flies spit on, the chances of recurrent typhoid fevers are high. Antibiotics are used to treat typhoid fever. If diagnosed with typhoid fever, see a healthcare provider for proper treatment. What are the complications of untreated typhoid? As early as the 3rd week of an untreated typhoid infection, complications can develop. The most severe being internal bleeding in the digestive tract and an intestinal perforation arising from a typhoid ulcer. Persons with internal bleeding have symptoms that include tiredness, blood and vomiting, dark colored stool, pale skin. In the case of perforation, it can lead to severe peritoneal infection and sepsis, leading to multi-organ failure. Do kids suffer from typhoid? In fact, they are the highest risk group for getting infected with typhoid because of their poor hygiene habits and underdeveloped immune system. Because of this, the attention to typhoid vaccination has been on the rise, also for people traveling to endemic areas. Different typhoid vaccines exist. A single dose vaccine and an alternate day 3 capsule vaccine. These vaccines work by stimulating the body to create antibodies that will fight against any incoming typhoid bacteria. That is the Salmonella typhi or the Salmonella paratyphi. So while protecting yourself with a vaccine, they are not 100% effective, and so maintaining good hygiene conditions remain the standard. There has been talk about a typhoid diet. What is it about? A diet advisable to be taken during typhoid infection and soon after. It consists of a high-calorie diet with foods high in carbohydrate content, plenty of thoroughly washed fruits and fluids, milk and milk products, well-cooked vegetables, and foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids. But foods high in fat content, fried items, butter should be avoided as they are not digested properly in typhoid cases. Avoid raw vegetables and unwashed fruits. This is where we shall end this episode on typhoid fever. If you have questions or would like to be more enlightened on the topic, leave your thoughts in the comment section on our social media pages. I remain Dr. Vine Ibaoji. Till next time.
You are listening to the Dr. Vine Show, the most educative show on the planet.
For further consultations on this topic, any health issue, acute or chronic, mild or severe, reach me on 070-5042-9893, 070-5042-9893. And if you're outside Nigeria, replace the first 0 with +234. You can also reach me on WhatsApp with the same number, 070-5042-9893. Personal consultations, family consultations, retail and company consultations, our services are open to all. I am currently offering weight loss programs alongside my team, done online at your own comfort, without the stress of gym work. Reach me again on 070-552-65763. I repeat, 070-552-65763. From many parts of the world, achieve good health and lose fat all in one go. Don't forget to add +234 if you're reaching out from outside Nigeria. And subscribe to our social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, for more contents at The Dr. Vine Show.